Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now, as promised, I've got stages 3 and 4 of the FRR Rouge Racing Tour Watopia, and as you can see on screen after stages 1 and 2, I sit in 91st position on the GC, a little way behind, a couple of minutes behind. Now, this is the highest category that I've ever been in, so there are no surprises that I'm finding it, would you say, a bit of a struggle at the moment, but you know, I'm going to set myself some new goals. I'm going to see if I can stay with the front group for as long as I can. I'm definitely going to finish this tour. So, you know, it's not all over. I'm not going to win every single race, but I'm looking forward to it. And today we've got Out and Back as the first race and Tair, Dringfa, Fechan as the second race. They're both points races and pretty attritional. I've put the profile up on screen on the top right, or highlighted it there. Out and Back again. Now this one is pretty flat until the volcano, which is I'm pretty sure where it's all going to kick off, and then we've got a little kicker, the Zwift KOM, after that. So for me in this one, my main aim is to stick with the front pack for as long as possible, not lose a great deal of GC time if I can do, and just really see where the legs are. I mean, this is going to be an absolutely brutal week, so I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm in a good position in terms of, you know, where I am, and going to give it my all. I'm going to give it my all. Really want to do well on this. And just to call out a little bit beforehand, I'm racing as part of a team, as you can see, the Team NP, which is Team Not Poggy. And something that's different about this tour, for the first time ever, I'm actually racing with the team. Now, this team is something that I created because, you know, there are loads of people out there that are like-minded and that actually watch the channel. I wanted to get a few of you involved in the team, and we've had a few joiners, and it's been absolutely amazing racing with everyone here on Team Not Poggy. So it's definitely added an element to me, something completely different, and it's taken it to a new kind of level of enjoyment. We've been on Discord chat, you know, before the racing, you know, talking about tactics, and then after the races talking about how our legs feel absolutely shot away. And yeah, it's just been brilliant. So for anyone out there who wants to join the club the Zwift Club, please feel free. Links in the description. But as I said, the more the merrier. It's really great having a group of people that are kind of like-minded, that, you know, want to do this. Not everyone gets Zwift, do they? Not everyone gets why we do this, you know. And on Discord the other night, I was sat with, you know, people all over the country. In fact, in different countries. So you know, that's why Zwifting is so great, because it just wouldn't be possible in real life, especially now with the weather how it is. Right then, lots to get through here, so let's get on with the race commentary. We're coming on to the first little sprint segment in this race, and I wasn't actually going for any sort of sprint, you know, sprint jerseys or anything like that at all. However, a couple of teammates are. So Dan Kent was in this one, did a great job, as you can see there, got second place through that, which was brilliant. I know Eric Barfell, who's also got a YouTube channel, is part of Team Not Poggy. He's in a really good position as well. He raced the stage later on in the evening. So there are some really good performances in there, and we'll come to the kind of the team standings a little bit later on. But, you know, in terms of the first job, and that is a little tick there, stay with the front group through the sprint, because, you know, it's easy to get dropped off the back there. And you've got to have, as I say, you've got to have one eye on what's coming up next. And unfortunately, it is the volcano. So this is where it's all going to kick off. Now, the volcano is a very draftable climb. And for me, it's just, you know, sitting nearest the front, not too far at the back. I don't want to get dropped off. And then if I need to kind of slip down through the pack, then I can do, but it just gives me a little bit of a leeway just in case I do need a bit of a break. So halfway up here, not feeling too bad at all. I mean, the heart rate for me, once again, is quite high at this point, 170. And I know I'm pretty much at my limit, but I wasn't putting a great deal of power. I wasn't even really looking at the power numbers. And yeah, as we come up with this last little bit, I'm just losing contact from the back. I'm going to give it my everything here to kind of stay with this group, and unfortunately you can see they're just going off. Now, I have got, hardly anything to go here to the top of this one, so I put in a little dig here the best I can, and I managed to get back on, which is fantastic. You know, I was pretty happy at this point, but equally, I was also feeling awful. And the mistake here, once again, I mean, you've seen me do this a couple of times before, I just did not have the legs to latch onto that back of that front group. And unfortunately, I just lose it. Now, I've got a teammate Dan with me here who's helping me to try and drag me back into the group. He's working very, very hard for me. We do latch onto this tiny, additional group here. But, there is a group now 10 seconds in front, and I know that we need to catch them before the Zwift KOM, otherwise it really will be too late. And I'm feeling pretty bad at this point. That volcano effort, especially that kind of little, well, not sprint, but the little effort I did right at the end there's really hurt my legs. And I don't know if any of you ever get this where your zone 2 and your zone 3 feels like a VO2 max effort. Well, that's exactly how I was feeling at this point. And you know what? Amazingly, we do manage to latch onto the back here. Some good work from Dan to get us back on there. But I'm in a bit of trouble, if I'm honest. I'm feeling pretty bad. I'm feeling like I'm not going to be able to keep up on this. In fact, I'm hardly able to keep up on the flat bit here. So I'm just going to give it my all, really. I have got a little eye on what's going on tomorrow as well, because, as I say, we do have a race, 3 days in a row here. And I'm giving it, 400 watts, and I'm just falling behind. And it's really, I don't know, for me, when I go pop, and I just can't do any more, and I just had to sit back down and, off they go. And, we have got Paul. I think Paul was in the front group, and Dan was still in that front group. But now I'm just going to try and latch onto this sort of second bunch that have just come through here to try and help me latch back on into the front group. And I do notice in a minute that there is I think an A rider in this pack that will maybe try and bridge the gap over to that front group. But even coming down this little bit here, I've just got nothing left, and I'm actually pretty worried about what's going to happen in the next few stages of this race, because my legs just aren't really working. Now, Dan actually thought I was ahead at this point, but I wasn't. Obviously, I was falling back. So Dan kindly dropped back again. He's just coming into view here, just to kind of try and help me get a bit further on into the race. I mean, we're almost finished now, and we've got 1.3 miles to go. Been riding for over an hour, so a very attritional race. But I wasn't super happy with this one afterwards. Sometimes you get off the bike and you feel really good. Got off the bike and I actually felt a little bit deflated. I don't know. I didn't perform how I wanted to, and just crossed the line here. 49th position, out of 122, so that's okay, but I just didn't really feel very good about that. So after stage 3, we are sat here. We have moved up a little bit, but not too many places, so we're now 88th. We're 3 minutes and 19 behind the leader. That is after 3 stages, and that is after 2 stages that have no draft. So I think I didn't lose a great deal, but on a stage where there's not many hills, that was pretty disappointing. Anyway, onwards, next day, feeling a little bit groggy. And I have to admit, once again, it took the legs a little bit of a time to wake up on this one. Now you can see by the profile on the right hand side that this has got the start of the Epic KOM first of all. Then I think we go on to the Zwift KOM as we did yesterday or the race before, and then we go to Titans Grove. So once again, this is a puncher's course. There is one sprint involved in this one, and before that we've obviously got this to take care of. Now for me, this was going to be about a 3-minute little dig. We did this in the ZRL earlier in the season, so I was quite happy that I was going to make it up this one. But I actually ended up doing I think it was a 6-minute power PB. So that was quite unusual. Especially after going full gas yesterday, I was quite surprised to do that at this point. And I'm just doing a good job of hanging on here. Again, got a couple of teammates with us. Paul's just there. But I would say that everyone, all of the team have been doing such a good job. Anyway, so there's a few of us here together, just going through these rollers, and we're gonna thankfully get a bit of rest. Now at this point, the legs they were kind of okay, although I'd put in quite a big effort there. I wasn't feeling as bad as I did yesterday after the volcano, and I know it wasn't as long, but it was only probably a minute shorter, I would say. So I was quite happy with that, and just getting some rest here. I know that we got the sprint coming up, so there was a little bit of surge of power around, I think, just coming up. up these kind of little mini 1%ers. And yeah, that, I don't know, that was a good move from whoever was doing that. As you can see, yeah, there you go, 280 power there. It was actually really hurting at this point. It was stinging a little bit, and yeah, I just wasn't sure what was going to happen up the Zwift KOM again. I did recon the course. Well, I say I reconned it. I actually looked on the Discord. There's some quite good information that's been put on the Discord by Dan again. So once again, that's the positive about having a team and talking pre-race. And just coming through the sprint here, it was a really tricky one because there's the sprint and then you've got this little KOM straight after. So I didn't put a load of power down, but I was scared at this point that I was going to drop off the back again. And I just ended up standing up on the bike and just kind of counting to 20, which is my way of getting through things. And I actually didn't realise at this point that it went left. So this was a kind of touch and go moment for me here. Heart rate is, 175. And I just had visions of doing the same as I did yesterday about the volcano. But I thought, no, come on, you've come this far. Just get on the pedals and get back into this main group. And the guys on Discord chat at the time, we were kind of encouraging each other. So that really helped me get back in the group. I was super pleased that I was able to get back in here and just take a bit of rest down the hill. And this is kind of uncharted territory for me here now. So I'm not really sure how everyone else is feeling, but I was thinking there must be some tired legs out there, because if I'm feeling like this, I'm in the same category as everyone in this little group, and we've managed to kind of stick 3 of us in this group as a team as well. So Paul's doing a really good job, and so was Dan. I don't know how Dan managed to do it really after having a full-on sprint. I think he actually won the sprint at that point, and then managed to get up that climb. Don't know how he did it, but kudos to him. But as I say, kudos to everyone that's manages to even complete these. It's very, very attritional. But yeah, I was just doing my best here once again to see if I could get a bit of rest before Titans Grove, which everybody, I don't know, watch the channel, see me Titans Grove before. It's not exactly my forte when it comes to climbing. But at this point in the race, I was ready for things to be over, to be honest with you. Now, tomorrow's stage, just before we get to Titans, it's got a bit of a hill at the end. It's got 4 sprint segments, so I'm going to see what I can do to maybe try and help out the team as best as I can there. But yeah, still got this little climb to do here. And for me, actually, these little roller bits are also equally as hard as that last little 90-ish seconds. Actually, probably a bit more than 90 seconds for me, that last bit. But a few, I think, are going to get kicked out the back here, which was interesting. And I don't know, at this point, I'm like, right, I'm not going to lose too much time on GC, potentially. I'm in the front group. The way that the E-gap works is you only lose time off of whoever finishes, first in the category out of this, out of this race. So I thought, most I'll lose is probably 30 seconds-ish. And as we're coming up here, I'm actually not too bad. But, yeah, I couldn't finish it off, unfortunately. Just legs were not playing ball at this point. And as we crest here, I finish in 43rd position, but only, well, crucially, as you can see there, only, it was only 23 seconds off the leader, so 3:38 down, and I moved up to 72nd, so we'll take that. We'll take the little wins. Let's see if we can get to the top 50 after the next race. I'm happy to move up like that. Difficult stage, difficult 2 stages, but, I've completed 4 stages on this now. Positively, though, the team standings after stage 4, we're actually in 5th, and I think there are over 30 teams. So we'll take that. If we can get into top 5, or even top 10, that would be a great result for everyone, considering this is our first kind of team effort together. Anyway, hopefully you'll join me for the next couple of stages, but thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.